Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Hope for Humanity series. Today, we're going to be talking about sort of wrapping up all of the stuff that I've been talking about basically in prior videos and adding another element to it. And I'm trying to put it all together in order to basically break it down for to use as a program, basically, to try and have people understand a way of being that has worked for me. So if it's worked for me, like I said before, I'm just an ordinary person. It can work for anyone out there. We all have these capabilities. So if this is what you're interested, please stay tuned because we are going to be covering several topics in this episode. And first of all, we're going to start off with sleep programming. This is something that it's based on neuroscience, and they have found, I've talked about this before in other videos, about subconscious mind and reprogramming it basically, because we're all just walking around actually living, thinking, and feeling based on our subconscious programming from the past. Okay, so in order to make some changes in that respect, we have to reach the theta brain, and there's several ways of doing it. One way of doing it is through hypnosis. Another way to get into the theta brain waves is to go into deep meditation, but most of us don't really have the skills to be able to reach the theta stage in meditation. So there is an easier way to do it, and a way that we can do it every single day, every single night. And when we first wake up in the morning, early stages, when we're kind of groggy, we're in the theta stage. When we go to bed at night, just before we fall into the delta sleep, we are also in the theta stage. We're very susceptible to programming at that point. So what I suggest is, this is what I have been doing for a while now, is using affirmations in order to reprogram the subconscious mind at that point. So I use headphones and I have several different affirmations that I listen to before I go to sleep. And I find that it's very, very helpful. The worst thing that can happen is you're going to feel good the next day and the day after, as long as you keep repeating this habit. Okay. Now, secondly, I want to talk about just practicing consciousness during the day. After you have done the affirmations at night or early in the morning, there's practicing consciousness is basically just being aware of the thoughts that constantly go around in our head. That's where the drill sergeant comes in, because we do need to use some discipline in order to be able to catch these thoughts that constantly ruminate around in our head on a regular basis. We have multiple thoughts during any given hour in the day. So we want to try and keep our thoughts as positive as possible. Practicing consciousness is really good. If you do meditations, that's really excellent. It'll also help you to stay more in the now as possible. All of these practices, of course, do take discipline. We do have to put in the work. Without putting in the work, we're not really going to get the results that we're after. So practicing consciousness becomes important because of the fact that we have to be conscious of the thoughts that we're putting out every day. In terms of, say, when we're sitting in judgment of someone, or if we are talking about someone, or putting our attention on someone else's life and thinking about that and that kind of thing, those kinds of thoughts they're not really conducive to us making us feel good. The best thing you can do is to put your attention on things that will be more productive in your own life, such as if you have, say, a vision board or something like that, you can spend some time looking at the vision board and things that you want to accomplish and bring forward in your life. Those things will bring about positive thoughts. And what we want to do here is to reprogram not only our subconscious but our conscious thoughts too, as much as we possibly can, to put our attention on things that we want to see grow and see happen in our lives. Because remember, where your attention goes, things grow. So you don't want to be putting your attention on negative talk, negative self-talk. If you catch yourself being upset with yourself and saying negative things about yourself as well as other people, those kinds of thoughts don't make you feel good. Catch them as much as you can. The drill sergeant is good for that. He'll catch those thoughts and then help to redirect your attention to more positive things, just basically things that make you feel good. Put your attention, whatever it is in that moment. If you happen to have a pet, say for example, put your attention on your pet and how much you love cuddling that pet, or something that is going to make you feel really good. Your children, if you know they're smiling and having a good day, put your attention on that and try to take your attention, divert it as much as possible away from thoughts that don't make you feel good, because basically nothing is more important than for us to feel good. So putting your attention on things like when during the day or first thing in the morning, thinking about our aches and pains and looking on Facebook and seeing what other people are doing, that kind of stuff is really not conducive to bringing about better feeling emotions in our lives. So it's really important that we try to put our attention on things that make us feel good, because feeling good is so very important. This is where meditation comes in, all these kinds of things that we do for ourselves. Energy clearing, which everybody knows as chakra clearing. Those kinds of things, when we do those things for ourselves, we feel really good. So if we can put our attention more on that, instead of, say for example, spending an hour scrolling on Facebook, spending an hour in meditation or clearing the chakras or energy centers, that would be much more productive, don't you think, than wondering what other people are doing, what other people think of you, because really what other people think of you is none of your business anyway. That's a reflection of their own inner feelings and thoughts. It really doesn't have anything to do with us. So again, it's not very productive. If we want to be productive in our lives, we must always put our attention on things that can be of assistance to ourselves and to the people that we love in our lives. Now, I've mentioned this before. Instead of thinking about, just wasting your time doing needless things, how about we put our attention on pleasing ourselves, like doing things like going and getting a therapeutic massage. That is so good for the body. It's good for the mind, the soul, everything involved. Therapeutic massage moves the blood around in your body. It also helps with the energy centers in the body. So these types of things can be really helpful from a health standpoint, as well as from a spiritual standpoint. It's just, we have to pay attention to ourselves more so than we pay attention to the outer world. And especially if we want to create better things in our outer world, the best thing we can do is put our attention on ourselves, because that way we feel more in power and less of a victim of other people and circumstances. When we start taking control of our own thoughts, emotions, and feelings, we are now putting the power back in our own hands, which is where it really belongs anyway. So I've got some notes here. I just want to cover a few other things. People say oftentimes about the world and how there's such little compassion going on, and how people seem so selfish, and how the world is all, going to crap and that kind of thing. And, I can see from a certain standpoint where, it can look that way. But remember, if we want to make a change in this world, it has to start somewhere. So why not with you? You can be the change that you want to see in the world, right? So why not make that change? Because you can up your vibration by doing these simple things, and just practice them every day. Remember, you have to put in the work. It's not going to take long. I guarantee you that after trying these practices for about 2-3 weeks, you're going to start to notice a difference. And that difference is going to, the universe is going to start showing you things like little coincidences. So, they call them coincidences, but these are the universe's way of letting us know that we're on the right track. You'll start noticing perhaps number sequences like 1111 popping up all the time. Or you'll look down and you'll all of a sudden see a $5 bill on the ground, or things like that. It almost seems magic when we get into the pocket of feeling good, putting our attention where it needs to go, which is on ourselves and not on what other people are doing. It's none of our business, and what they think of us is none of our business. Remember, put your attention on yourself. And when you do that, you will raise your vibration up so high that the people around you will pick up on that energy, and you will be doing good for your loved ones as well as the universal consciousness. Because the more of us that raise our vibration up higher, the better chance the world has at becoming a more compassionate, caring, and understanding place. So, I would like to let you know that at the end of this video, there is a playlist there, which is the Hope for Humanity playlist. Now, in this playlist, I do have all of my other prior videos, the ones on consciousness, meditation, yoga, so forth. You can feel free to go ahead and take a look at those. I've also added into the playlist at the very bottom, there are also videos that I have found extremely helpful, and meditations and affirmation videos that I have found here on YouTube. Of course, Jason Stevenson is listed there for affirmations, but you can find any ones you like, whichever ones that work for you. The main thing is that you do it. It's not who you listen to or what you listen to, as long as you find something that works for you. And then I also added a chakra clearing, energy clearing video that I use on a regular basis in there, as well as videos from neuroscientists Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton, as well as there's several other videos in there you might find helpful. So, as always, namaste, take good care. Star Lord is signing off for now. See you next time. Bye-bye.